Well, good morning, everyone. This is Linda from North Central Texas, and I've got another head of lettuce. Let me get the box. It's one of these butter lettuces that comes with the roots on it, and I'm going to amend the soil in this pot under the wishing well, and I'm going to try planting it in that pot under the well this year and see how it works. It worked real well behind the shed because it got part shade, and I'm going to try to put it under the wishing well because it gets partial shade up here too. And I have to apologize for the chainsaws running. I've got two neighbors that live close by that have been running a saw all morning, and it's still running. I don't know what they're cutting or why, but you know, that's just the way it is. First of all, I got to amend the soil. So that means I'm going to dump some of this dirt out. Put it in this pot, or this bucket. Because it's been staying too wet. Way too wet. I'm going to put some of this bark in the bottom of it. What, I had a piece of bark, I'm going to go get that. I saw this the other day that where it had come off of one of my logs that's laying on the ground. And I said, well, that's going to be great for my wood bark to go in the pot. Ooh. And it's oak, so it's going to be real good for my plants. Put a little bit of this back in there. And then I've got scraps from a cabbage that I had cut up. I'm going to put some of that in there. I'm not going to put it all because there's no room to put all of it. That's going to be good too for the plant. It breaks down and it'll be like compost, which is fertilizer for your plant food. I'm going to put a little bit of this garden soil. And I'm going to mix it in. And I guess you can't really see it. I'm just mixing it in with the other dirt. Really needs to be on this other side. But you can see I cut all of the lettuce off of it basically. And you can see all the roots at the bottom. I don't know if you can see what I'm doing. I'm just making a well deep enough for those roots to go in. Because we don't want to cover up the top of our lettuce. We want that above the ground. Now, it should be okay here. I've amended the soil. I put the cabbage leaves in there, which will break down and make plant food for the lettuce. I put a little bit of a potting mix in there to help with drainage because it was holding way too much moisture. And we'll see what happens. I got pepper plants here. I've got a lettuce. I've got a kale. I've got perpetual spinach. So we'll see what happens with that. That almost looks like it could be a little mini greenhouse to start seeds in. You know what? Right now I'm going to put my scraps in there to use for compost. Ooh, the mosquitoes are starting already this morning. I don't think I can carry so much of this, but that's where my lettuce is going to, well, that particular lettuce is going to be this year, and we're going to try it and see how it works on this side of the garden. Let me move this up here. Let me shorten this tripod a little bit. And I'm going to go show you what I've been doing earlier. But there's our little lettuce. Hopefully it will grow in there. But look at this. This morning glory is just taking over, and there's not a thing I can do about it. You try to pull it out and it breaks off, and then it makes 3 or 4 vines. Well, one thing about it is kind of holding the moonflowers up, because some of them are falling over to the outside of the rock garden. But that's okay, because they'll die down. Mow part of them over. And I went ahead and set my pots back up on my little platform I built for the bird bath, and I'm not finished with it yet. There's still some more I want to do to it, and I will switch up the pots, put different kind of pots there eventually. I can just do so much at one time. But look what else I did. I put pepper plants out here. I'm going to try some pepper plants in this hot sun. A lot of times they don't want the full hot sun, but I'm going to try it. And I think that's a zucchini coming up. But right now I've transplanted pepper plants. They're bell pepper of all different colors. And, whoops. I've alternated. I've put a pepper plant in every other block. And look how that is growing. It has just taken off. But it's got all male flowers. I mean, I can't believe that. All male flowers on that thing. And there's my basil. It likes it over here. My tree collard. And my basil's trying to go to seed, but I just break off the top of it where it's trying to go to seed, because I don't want it to go to seed yet. Just break the tops off of it. But you can see I put a pepper plant in every one of these blocks, every other one, because the pepper plants usually get pretty big. So I didn't plant one in every single one. I did there, but down there I've skipped one. And you can see I planted them here. And that sun is to my back, so it's not helping. Let's see if I can get on this direction. There you go. But I put a pepper plant in every other block, because these are bell peppers. They're going to get pretty big. I did that a couple of years with my, I don't know what kind of bug that is. He looks terrible. But I did it a couple of years with my jalapeno peppers, and I had so many jalapeno peppers. It was unreal. So I should have enough. And there's my Hungarian hot peppers. I got 2 of them over here. And I put tomato plants in those little pots. I've got peppers in each one of these. The lettuce can grow with them. But see how much better the romaine lettuce is doing over on this side of the yard? It doesn't get as much sun. And there was a cucumber that I found yesterday. I think it was yesterday. There it is. I need to pick that sucker before he gets so big. Look at that. Pick him before he gets so big he's not any good. Because if they get too big, the seeds get real tough. And you have to cut all the seeds out before you can eat it. But I think that'll be a pretty good size right there. And like I said, I've got 3 or 4, maybe 5 different kinds of cucumbers planted here. There's one up there. So I'll definitely have cucumbers. I've already got a few. And I'm in the process of pulling out some of these beans, because some of them are not the right kind of beans. I don't know what they are, but they're not producing beans that are edible. So you can see I've already pulled some out over here. And I'm going to replant with footlong beans. So that is my goal here. I mean, like these right here, they're so hard. I mean, you can't cook those. So I've been pulling these things out. Here, let me put this down. So I've been slowly, gradually pulling them out. And then I'm going to come back out here and replant with the footlong beans. I don't like these beans that were planted here. And I don't even remember where I got the seeds from, but I don't like them. If I grow beans, I want something that's edible. Just gonna slide them down off the bottom. For this one I can, maybe. I do not want these things. And I'll amend the soil before I plant the other ones. You know, like I did there at the wishing well. Put that right back in there. So that one is done. And I'll not plant those kind again if I can figure out which ones it was I planted there. But I'm going to do like I did at the wishing well with the lettuce. I'm going to get all this out. I'll amend the soil. Make sure I don't have any of these beans in there. Definitely don't want to plant no more of them. And these things intertwine so bad. It's almost impossible just to unwrap them. That wasn't too bad. It kind of went all around in the same direction. I know I had one. One of the plants over there was a foot long, or I thought it was. It started producing bigger beans. But I don't like these. And they were growing so pretty. couple of them on that side are keepers. They're not these type of beans. But these things, oh my goodness. Yeah, I don't mind the bean being small, but it's not even edible. I'll leave those there and I'll put them on the compost pile in a little bit. Not on the compost, but on the in the fire pit. Well, I don't know where to put this. Every one of these out because some of it I don't know which one it is, and I'm not going to take a chance. So if you get something like that growing in your garden and you know you don't want it, pull it out the best you can. Make sure you don't leave any pods. For them to grow anymore. And the thing of it is, I know I planted footlongs out here. And that looks like one right there. Or it looks like the other bean. It doesn't look like that little short one that... beans I want to keep have a bigger leaf. Than that one that produces the little tiny one. Now this one's okay. It at least produces beans or peas that you can eat. Oh goodness, and this one got entangled. We'll just have to get it back over here to go around where its own kind is. This is the one I don't want right here. But see how little those leaves are compared to those? This little one is the one that produces the little hard beans that you can't eat. Those are the ones I'm pulling out. Man, they got roots down to China. Good gracious. I should have brought something out here to cut with. And I'm pulling out one that I wanted to keep, but I can't help it. Oh. If I can find the root of this one, I'd save it, but I don't know which root it was. Oh well. I need to put compost in some of these. I just stepped on Lucky. I mean, they get right under my feet, and I don't mean to hurt them or step on them, but sometimes it's accidents. You can't help it. And see, there's one of those But at least that one will die, because I pulled up the root even though I got some of it still wrapped around the... Lucky? Look at there. He was right behind me and I didn't know it a while ago. And I stepped on his paw. And I didn't mean to. They're sure producing beans, but they're not edible. So we're going to start all over on some of these pots and plant all over again. Definitely don't want those in a compost pile. But those other beans will be okay. Whew. It's getting hot out here, y'all. But like I said, I'm going to amend the soil. I'm going to put some compost in there. I'll put some of those cabbage and collards and kale leaves and stuff like that down in there. I'll mix a little bit of garden soil in it. And then I'm going to replant my foot-long beans. I think I've still got seeds from it. Can't believe it. I got a vine of the peas growing up. They're growing inside the greenhouse, y'all. How'd they get in there? Look at that. Growing inside the greenhouse. I just pulled it out. It went under the bottom of it. I don't know how it did that. But yeah, just like I did out there at the wishing well, I'm going to amend the soil, as they call it. Like I said, I'm going to put in compost. I'm going to put in, compost from a compost bin back there. I'm going to put in cabbage leaves, all kind of fresh leaves of compost that I can put in there that'll break down. A little bit of garden soil, mix it up, replant my peas. And I think I'll have a better crop this next go round. I wanted to show you too what I was doing yesterday, and I didn't have it all on camera. But, I had one whole row of lettuce seed that I planted, and it all came up, and it was way too thick. So I dug it all out yesterday. I separated it, and I replanted it. So I've got 5 tiers of lettuce. Let's just hope it survives. I think it'll be okay here. I'm not sure, because this gets shade during the day and then sun as well. So we'll see how it does. But I've got another problem out here. I've got that sunflower that is leaning so far over that I'm afraid it's going to fall over even more as the flowers open up on it, because it's one of those that has sunflowers all the way up the stalk. And see how it's leaning? It's leaning out. When it gets those heavy sunflowers at the top, it's going to lean even more. So I'm going to do my best right here to see if I can somehow get it supported. I mean, it's got to be, because if I don't, it's just going to end up falling over. I think maybe if I can put this on it. Oh, and I left my other piece. Got this piece of steak here that, and I had bees out here yesterday. I literally pulled down or yellow jackets. I literally pulled down a yellow jacket nest they were building. I don't know how well this will work, but I'm going to try it. I don't really want these big sunflowers growing in my totes anyway. These are the ones that come up as volunteers, remember? Whew. Can't really see what I'm doing here. I may not have made this cord long enough. Oh. Might help a little. really keep it from pulling through the plastic. Those need to be held up too. Oh. Yeah, I don't want those big sunflowers in my totes anymore. They get too big. Can put it there, but I don't really want to. But I'll have to get another piece to put those up. Another piece of cord. Because all that weight leaning this way is not good for my tote. Not good for it at all. So, we got my butter lettuce planted in the wishing well. We got those old beans pulled up so I can amend the soil over there. I got my sunflower staked up. And I'll come out here a little later and do the other one the same way, the little one next to it, because it's leaning over. And it needs to be going straight up because of the weight that it's going to have on it. I mean, look at this sunflower here. And it's growing out of that little bucket. A 5-gallon bucket. And I've got like a 12-foot sunflower. Here, I'll show you. I mean, I'm standing beside it. And it keeps going. It keeps going. Look at that. I'm 5'2", 5'3". So look how tall this thing is. It don't need to be in a tote. Especially not the ones over there. So, I guess that's all I've got for you today. They must be getting ready to build another house on the next street over there. Because I hear trucks and all kind of stuff going on over there now. They were running saws earlier. You heard those in my video. Got all kind of construction going on around me. Nobody so far has built on the lots behind me over here. You know, back here where Ori's growing. That's another lot. That doesn't belong to me back there. My lot goes up to where I've mowed the morning glory down, and that's where my lot stops. That's the easement. I just haven't been able to mow over there. There's too many rocks. The only thing you could cut with in here is a big weed eater or something like that, because you can't get in there with a mower. I was able to mow around my water meter container, that black box. That's my water meter. It's down inside there. And my lot stops about 2 feet behind this water meter. There's the blue flag. You can't see it, but it's under the morning glory. That's the property line right there. But yeah. And I dread it if somebody ever buys this lot behind me, because I know the first thing they're going to do is they're going to cut down all the trees. Every one of the trees they're going to cut down. I mean, some of them I can understand, but if you got a nice oak tree, why not leave it for shade? I mean, these trees were cut down. That one, you can't even see the tree for the morning glory. But it's an oak tree that was cut down last summer, and it's already gotten 5 feet tall. And now it's full of morning glory. So I've got a morning glory patch back here right along the whole property line behind my house. It's growing everywhere. And it is pretty when it's blooming. It's all morning glory. And I know I had planted it. I planted it one year and it never came up, or I didn't think it'd ever come up. Never did anything. A couple of years later, all of a sudden I started seeing morning glory everywhere. And now look at it. I've got a jungle. It looks like a tropical paradise back here. And I love it. As long as it don't take over my yard. And see, I can't mow further back than here because it dips down into a low spot. I can't get the mower back there. So anything I mow back here has to be with a weed eater, bigger than the weed eater I've got. Because my property goes back halfway through the morning glory. But I can't get back there to mow because of, I do the best I can behind the shed. But that's as far as I can mow with the mower. Oh, get back in the shade a minute. And look at that. It's growing on up through the canopy top. That might be one reason that my turnips didn't do so well over here on this side. It's because that sunflower's taken all the water. Or either I neglected to water it a couple of times and I thought I did. You just never know. Whew, I got skeeters biting me. So, I guess that's about all I got for you today. There's not a whole lot more I can do except tie up that one sunflower. And pretty much it, because it's getting so hot out here, and the mosquitoes have started over there in that corner. So I'm gonna go in, fix me some breakfast, and look at my basil. Show you my basil over here. It's starting to wilt down. It does not like the sun. And you know what? I think I'm going to go ahead and move it. Because I don't see my basil. Or my peppers. If I had another shade cloth I could put over this way, it would be good. But I'm going to have to come up with a way to do that. I'll put my basil right here. Next to my, I'll put it right there next to my my tomato plant that broke and looks like it's trying to die. I might just plant something else in there. Yeah, not too many things do very well in this scalding hot sun. Not this Texas sun, it doesn't. Move my pepper plants too. Move it over here on this side. Now I don't have anything there but Bermuda grass growing. If I can come up with a way to put a shade cloth over here on this side, I might do that. And I can move them back. Well, all this construction going on is just messing up my video. So I'm gonna let y'all go and we'll see y'all on my next one, I guess. They're just making so much racket. Plus my air conditioner's running. That sounds like a backhoe. They're probably pulling up trees. But anyway, thanks for hanging out with me this morning. I hope you enjoyed the little garden tour and showing you what I was working on this morning. But I'm gonna go in the house now, cool off, get me a bite to eat because I haven't eaten breakfast or anything yet. I haven't even had my cup of coffee yet, girls and guys. You know me, I gotta have my coffee now. Just gotta have my coffee. So, see you on my next one. Y'all have a blessed day. Bye now. Love y'all.